Welcome back, my beautiful friends. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Welcome to yet another amazing My Digital World segment brought to us by Tempus Network. Today, we're featuring the incredible Carmelia Ray, celebrity matchmaker, member of the Forbes Council, and head of marketing and PR at Kindly, where they aim to create a socially responsible ecosystem that facilitates effortless, unrandom acts of kindness. Essentially, they're a humanitarian based cryptocurrency project launched in Web3. Today, we're chatting about bridging the gap between social impact and Web3 and how this new iteration of the internet can allow for innovative consumer and business related products. But those products are to generate, execute, and track certified, measurable social impact on the blockchain. Now, there's a twist. While the world awakens to the phenomenon of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, widespread awareness is yet to uncover the potential of the underlying technology, a peer-to-peer, decentralized, distributed ledger known as the blockchain. And this revolutionary technology has been heralded by thought leaders of Silicon Valley and PhD mathematicians as the greatest confluence of technology since the invention of the internet itself. More than just a trustless means of securely and instantaneously sending currencies around the world. And when I mean trustless, I'm talking about not requiring the trust of other parties. The blockchain allows a multitude of applications, such as peer-to-peer, smart contracts, the creation of digital assets, and data collection. It may also be the missing piece of the puzzle for the Internet of Things. And one of the biggest benefits for humanity that will be ushered in by the blockchain is the role it will play in helping cut out the middleman or intermediary organizations that have traditionally funneled money away from the average individual and put it into the hands of the already wealthy. By now, we've already heard of NFTs, cryptocurrency, blockchain, metaverse, DAOs, and Web 3.0. But how all these future forward technologies leveraged to innovate social impact investment and equitable community engagement, that is the question. How do you leverage that? And here to chat some more is the amazing Carmelia Ray. Welcome to the show, stunner.
Hi. Oh my God. I'm always glad to share space with you. And I'm really, really excited about the Kindly Coin and the Kindly Project. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, let's get right to it. So I love your article that you just authored. It was great. And you claim
Thank
that
you.
according to current business landscape, more companies are looking to showcase their social impact projects to attract the right talent. And there are several ways to do this. And one of the most effective ways you say is through storytelling. Please explain.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the Kindly Project was first founded from an idea that one of the co-founders, Paul Rodley Turner, who runs a Food for Life Global, and he has such an amazing story himself, having been 30 plus years now dedicated to charity and giving and in the humanitarian space. So people will definitely tend to be more aligned and more loyal to brands when there is an inspiring story or something that separates them from other companies. They actually say that 71% of consumers today will even switch brands if they feel that the company is more focused on their corporate social responsibility versus another. Whether it is choosing to go green or every purchase goes towards feeding children or providing a shelter for the homeless. I think it's just kindness is so sought and rare. News is inundating with horrible stories, so we all want to hear a great story, and I can't think of a better initiative than spreading kindness, especially now in Web3.
Exactly. And when it comes to social impact in Web3, Carmelia, you said it, the most obvious examples are projects that encourage giving. And when you talk about giving, you can talk about crypto giving or organize around a certain charitable cause. But sometimes the less obvious use cases can be just as impactful. And this is certainly the case when it comes to blockchain and Web3. So there's nothing too small when it comes to charity. Now, you believe that increasing customer loyalty and engagement through social impact is essential to building a sustainable business, and that by aligning your brand with a cause that matters to your customers, you create a deeper connection, leading to increased customer loyalty. How would a brand go about this?
One of the reasons we built, or we're in the process of developing this ecosystem, a brand can partner with our project. And also they can partner with other charities. If they partner with a charity and make that apparent to their customers, knowing that, hey, and it has to make sense, right? There has to be some relevancy to, I mean, I believe the more relevancy there is in that partnership with the brand, or with creating their NPO, or eventually having an official charity, consumers will be more likely to repurchase those products. When you think about products now that are vegan, or makeup lines that are vegan, or I guess production that states no animal cruelty or no animal testing. I mean, that's something that people can stand behind. So you can do that by looking for charities that are already, already acting and functioning, that you can support, that you can partner with, and then share that message with your consumers.
Yeah, and it's important to note we're talking about charities that are active living in
Yes.
Web 3.0. Web 1 and 2 is a thing of the past. It's not the most verifiable place to donate, and it's not that ecosystem that we're talking about. This is power back to the people. And inherent in the Web 3 space is the value of decentralization. And by helping take power away from the center and redistributing it to the periphery, blockchain will usher in greater equity and inclusion for traditional underserved populations, Carmelia. And whether we hear of new tech models and ideas, we think about how it can be used to do good. And the blockchain can definitely be applied to generate social impact. Kindly is very much aware of this. How are you approaching donations and charity on the blockchain?
Well, we really want to become the primary source for what we consider measurable social impact. Traditionally, when you write a check to a charity, I've written thousands and thousands of dollars to sick kids. No offense to sick kids, but when I write that check for whatever amount, there is actually, I don't really know where those funds are being allocated. I'm not really seeing the true impact of my dollar and where it's going to. Where on the blockchain, everything is trackable. When you're thinking about charities and they've got a measurable impact, for example, it costs 10 cents to feed a child, or $100 to plant a tree. I'm making up these numbers, right? But when you know that, and you can follow that chain and actually see the work, especially for people who go to these countries, they see the impact that's happening. This is what Kindly will do. It will actually you on the blockchain, it's all trackable down to the source, and the ecosystem that we're building wants to follow it down to the location, down to the child, down to
To the nitty gritty, to the
to the
nitty gritty.
nitty-gritty.
And
Absolutely.
interesting, you're so right. Direct access to funding for charities is key. Instantaneous transfer of currencies across borders to charitable organizations and emergency support will allow faster, more targeted response rates. Lower cost in transferring funds internationally could mean an overall increase in the funds sent to charities, to your point. And due to the very highly divisible nature of cryptocurrencies, micro donations, Carmelia, now become much more feasible. Charities could also creatively pair this with smart contracts for their donors, such as every time you purchase, say, 0.00001 of a Bitcoin is transferred to your charity of choice, right? So I definitely see the revolution taking place here on the blockchain. Now let's talk Martin Seligman. You mentioned him in your article, a psychology professor at the University of Pennsylvania. He
Yes.
conducted extensive research for over 15 years on happiness and well-being, and his model for positive psychological features is PERMA.
Yes.
Employee retention and satisfaction increases through adopting PERMA in the workplace. Please explain PERMA. We have about 3 minutes.
Okay, PERMA. Okay, so I'll fast track through it. So the acronym is number one, positive emotions such as joy or gratitude. That's what you feel when you give to charity. Engagement in activities that give you pleasure. So whether it's organizing your entire team to go to that rescue relief, to go feed that animal as a community, relationships with people that you care about. You care about your friends, you care about your coworkers, you care about people in your inner circle. Meaningful work. If you have this mundane job, but yet this job, a portion of your paycheck, or this company is being socially responsible, you feel more joy, you feel more inclined to go to work because in some way you're impacting the environment and your children's future. And finally, accomplishment and feeling proud of the tasks that you've achieved. I can't think of a better reward, me being a matchmaker and helping people find love, and now partnering with Kindly to be able to create this ecosystem of measurable impact where people feel good and they're transparent, and knowing that they can track that impact and feel a sense of responsibility both corporately and personally.
I love it. I love it. And to your point, employee retention and satisfaction increases through corporate acts of kindness, and having attitude of gratitude, so to speak, always fosters positivity and is something that most people can get behind in the workplace. So I think that's a win-win for all. All right, we have 2 minutes left. You answered that amazingly. What is the biggest mistake brands are currently making, Carmelia?
I think brands are if they are not creating programs or initiatives to foster this social impact, to generate, to be corporately responsible, to look at the environment, to look at their processes. How can they be more efficient? How can they, give back more to their employees, and outside of their employees have real impact on this opportunity for giving? I think that's a big mistake. And then, of course, the storytelling. What are the wins? How are your dollars impacting those families? Give us those stories. Tell us how you've changed a person's life. I think when companies do not get with their people, and it's all about just the messaging and the logos. I personally like to work with companies that have transparent team members. I want to know who's behind it. Who are the founders? What do they do when they're not at work? And this is why, you see Tesla has X number of followers, yet Elon Musk has hundreds of millions, because people want to follow the founders. They want to follow the humans that are running these companies.
Oh, I love it. Listen, we're out of time, but I just wanted to thank you for coming on. Always amazing, so inspiring, and you're always doing such incredible stuff. I love chatting with you.
Thank you so much.
Guys, you definitely have to check out Carmelia Ray. Head to her website, carmeliaray.com. Kindly, definitely check out what they're doing. Head to Kindly and make sure that you are also donating and thoughtfully donating, not just donating to anybody. While Web3 is still in its infancy, it will be a while before the use cases we spoke about are fully implemented at scale. That being said, to some extent, all of the use cases are already happening in practice. And whether through pilot projects, emerging DAOs, or up-and-coming collectives, it will take time for the kinks to be worked out and for these ideas to catch on. But when they do, the end result will be a fairer, more equitable economy and world. This is the connection between social impact and cutting out the middleman. That was My Digital World, brought to us by Tempus Network. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Tempus, the next generation of the engagement economy, allowing people to make money on their data and earn cryptocurrency for the time they spend on things they already currently love to do. With Tempus, brands will have the ability to pay you directly for interacting with apps, watching videos, playing games, and more. Tempus, the time is now. Engage and earn.